Welcome to the Empathy Day Festival. We're going to be sparking empathy with you. I'm Phil Earle, and my book is Northern Soul. What is it about? Well, strangely enough, it's almost like an autobiography, unfortunately, because it is about the trauma and the hysteria and the ridiculousness that happens when you fall in love for the first time. And in the book, you will meet 14-year-old Marv, whose life changes for the better slash the worst when he suddenly realizes there is something out there in the world that is more important than football and gaming, and that is girls. And so this book is about the pain, the agony, the joy, the humiliation of falling in love for the first time.
Thank you so much, Phil. That sounds great. My name is Sarah Crossan, and I'm an author and a poet. And if you jump into my story called Where the Heart Should Be, you will also meet a character who is in love for the first time. In this story, Nell meets Johnny, but unlike Phil's story, which is full of gags, and I've read it and it's absolutely brilliant, and I would highly recommend it. This is a bit of a sad story. It's set in the 1800s in the Irish famine, and Nell is a scullery maid working in the house of the person that she falls in love with, and he's the nephew of the landlord there. So what she has to be able to do is have empathy for the people who are really her masters and are responsible for her family going hungry. Can she do that? And can he have empathy for her situation and understand that what's happening to them and their family is not her fault? So a very different book. But I've written this in verse, like all of my books. So even though it's quite chunky, it's quite a fast read.
Mate, it sounds brilliant. Well, I know it's brilliant because I've read it. Maybe you could read us a little bit because I think it by reading it. I mean, for me, poetry is meant to be read aloud anyway, but it really shows how beautifully easy they are to read as well. So go on, read us a bit.
All right, I'll read you a little bit. So I'll read the bit where Nell meets Johnny for the first time, and nothing saucy happens, but she's interested. She thinks he's different. Loitering. At the crossroads, someone is loitering, listening to my friends retreat, watching them charge away. He is tall and wearing a neat blue blazer. His hair is as black as Tipperary coal and tousled by the storm. They went that way, he murmurs, pointing. Something in his composure as he speaks makes me stumble and stop. Plus, he is English. I know straight away that he is the stranger I saw walking. Who are you? I ask. I'm John Browning, he says carefully, like the name might mean something. And you are? My name is Ellen Quinn. Nell. Well, you better be quick, Nell, or you won't catch them, and it looks like worse rain is on the way. I'm taking a different road to them, I say. I'm going in the opposite direction. I wait, wanting something. I can't think what it is that I want. Behind him, smoke from the fire of home snakes into the slate grey sky. He scans the road. You're alone. Are you not afraid? Only a little bit, I say. That's it.
Oh, that's a great first meeting, isn't that though, mate? I love it.
Thank you. Do you know what I would love?
Go on.
To hear a little bit of your book.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah, go on.
Since you asked so nicely, I'll just read you the first page. Marv is basically me, I'm
Okay.
afraid. Too much of this is true, but okay. So this is page one, chapter one. Before Carly Stonehouse, there were no girls. Oh, hang on, that's not true. I do this kind of thing, you see. I make these big daft statements without thinking. I mean, girls existed, of course they did. I just didn't notice them. For the first 14 years of my life, I had other things on my mind. There was football and mates. Well, there was Jimmy anyway, and he was the only mate I needed. Either he was in goal or I was. We'd go to the cinema sometimes, and there was football. Did I mention that? Life was simple, happy. And then Carly arrived, and well, bang, that was it. Game over. He didn't know what's going to hit him, the poor kid.
Well, I know what's going to hit him because I've read it and it's brilliant and it's funny and it's so relatable. And my daughter read it when I was first sent a copy and was in on her bed cackling with laughter when she was reading it. So highly recommend, not just from me, an old lady, but from a young person who's meant to be for as well. So
There's a lot of cringe in it, that's for sure.
A lot of cringe in it. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, then let's get cracking. We are going to do our challenge now, which is based around empathy post. So we're here today for two reasons. Firstly, to do the challenge, to take the empathy post.
And two, through doing this, to encourage you to become empathy activists. So putting empathy into action can be a really radical act. And through doing this, you can see an impact on yourself, your friends, and the people around you in your community. And that's what we're going to be doing today.
And the reason we're doing it is to try and help you and help us develop empathy skills, especially perspective taking skills, which is understanding someone else's life, situation, or what they might be going through, or how this might be feeling.
So for Empathy Post, we're asking you to make an empathy card. And what you can do is use one from the Empathy Day Festival Toolkit, or like myself and Phil, you can use your own postcard. And then you've got to write a message of empathy to someone.
So first of all, you need to consider who it is you want to send it to. It could be someone local, could be a friend, someone in your family, a teacher, someone you know or you see in your local community. Or if you wanted to think bigger than that, you could sort of send it global. Look at recent news stories. Are there politicians or change makers you'd like to send an empathy message to? You could send a card to a local MP or even the Prime Minister or another president if you wanted to.
Okay, teachers, what you're going to do now is you're going to pause the film. And as a class or in smaller groups, you can make a list of everyone that you think it would be a good idea to write an empathy card to. So do that now.
Welcome back. Go on then, Sarah. Who have you got on your list? Who do you think you could write to?
Well, I have chosen someone, but I was mulling over lots of different ideas. I don't know how many ideas you came up with. I came up with a
Oh,
few.
just a couple.
Just a couple. I did think Keir Starmer, but I
Yeah.
decided not to get too political. And I have a relative who lost his wife recently, so I thought maybe I would do that. But I'm not going to do those. Are quite serious. I'm going to go for someone less serious. What about you?
I had a couple, which was one, my son, because I did the beautiful thing of tidying his room yesterday as a treat, for goodness sake. And well, it's trashed already. There's rubbish piled up everywhere. So maybe a note of discontent and asking him how I might feel in that situation. And the other one, probably to the guy who had a go at me on the dog walk this morning.
Oh,
Just people moaning about not controlling your dog properly. But just the normal.
all right. Now you have a list of people that you might send your empathy card to. You want to think about what it is that you're going to say. And so you could do one of two things. You could possibly write a card to them and show that you understand their perspective, or you could write a card in which you prompt them, encourage them to question their actions. I've decided to write my postcard to Taylor Swift, lovely, gorgeous, talented Taylor Swift. Because even though I think she's amazing in so many ways, I do think she does a lot of flying, and I wonder whether she could have less of an impact on the environment if she did a couple of small things. So, Phil, is it okay if I read my postcard to Taylor Swift now?
Go on, do
That's
it.
good for you.
Yes.
Dear Taylor, I think you're the bee's knees. Obviously, I'm in my 40s, so this is the kind of language I use. Dear Taylor, I think you're the bee's knees. Keep traveling the world and spreading joy. But have you thought about selling one of your private jets? Or maybe taking one commercial flight a year instead of flying your private jet? Lots of love, Sarah. What do you
Oh,
think?
well, it wouldn't hurt, would it? Small steps. Maybe
Well,
she could row a boat between gigs, or take the
or
boat. I don't think she's going to need to. She's not going to need the money to tour for a while, so I think she'll be all right just to keep a carbon
I
footprint
think
down.
she'll be right. And I do think she's amazing. And I know that she does donate a lot of money to charities, food banks, and things like that. But I am concerned about all these private jets and what they're
Yeah.
doing to our environment. So just to have a little bit of a think about that. That's my attempt to make her question her
Fair enough.
actions. What about you? Are you having somebody question their actions, or are you showing that you
Yeah.
understand how they feel?
My note is my notes to Marv in Northern Soul, and it's in a way it's a note to myself, I guess, as well.
Brilliant.
So, because it's hard work. I found it really hard work being a teenager. I find being adult difficult enough, but being a teenager and experiencing things for the first time was a bit of a mind cluster, shall we say? So mine's to Marv, and it's quite simple. Marv, mate, first love's brilliant. It's the best. But so is second, third, fourth, and fifth. So for goodness sake, try and enjoy it. It's the greatest thing in the world. Because I know, like, I just used to worry about it all the time. Do you know what I mean? When's the right time to ask someone if they want to go out with you? When's the best time to stick your arm around them or, give them a kiss or something like that? And when you get to that point, trying not to bite their lip or draw blood in any, significant way. So yeah, just
I
that
love
thing of
that.
being a bit mindful, just trying to stay in the
I
moment.
think that could also be a message that could be sent to Taylor Swift, actually,
Yeah.
because yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not one we could send to Donald Trump, but that's
No, well, I love that. Okay, so we've got Marvin and Taylor are our empathy cards.
excellent choice, my friend. All right, okay, it's your turn now. Teachers, you can pause the film so your class can go away and get creative with making their own empathy postcards. You can either do it yourself, design your own, or you can use the templates that we've provided for you.
Welcome back, students. We hope that you've had a really good experience today. I've had a really interesting one, actually. I don't know about you, Phil, but going through the process was thought-provoking. I had to really think carefully about who I was going to choose for my empathy card. And as I said, like I kind of went through some ideas and they were more serious. Um, and I was also thinking about who could I actually get the postcard to. I am going to try to get to Taylor Swift, but I doubt that it will get there. But I think we've got to try. And yeah, I just thought it was interesting kind of thinking about, I think even going through the process of thinking about who to send the card to created more empathy because I was thinking about it from their perspective and how would it feel to receive it. So in a way, for me, it didn't matter. I don't know how much it matters that Taylor gets the postcard. It's sort of the process that I went through to think about who to send it to and how they might receive it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you felt doing it because I know you did it to a character that was invented by you, so kind of to yourself in a way.
That's exactly what I got from it. I think it's also that thing of just as important to have empathy for yourself as it is for the person that you're aiming it at, trying to stay in the moment, trying not to fret and worry, trying to just enjoy whatever you're feeling in that particular moment. That thing of mindfulness, it seems to go hand in hand with empathy, really.
I think that's interesting because I think it's really hard to have empathy for other people if we can't do the same for ourselves. So I like that process. I think you probably
Thank you.
started in a
Yeah.
better place than I did. Maybe I'll go back and think about that for one of my characters.
So I guess the next thing to say is to ask those guys in the classroom how it went for them. Did thinking about it from someone else's perspective help you understand them better? Did would it make you think about them differently in the future?
Yeah. And are you actually going to try to send the postcard? I might try to send it to Taylor. I think it's going to be a bit tricky. And you might try to send your postcard to the person that maybe it's somebody you know, maybe it's a politician. But if not, maybe you'll do a display in your classroom or you'll find another way to use the empathy cards.
The good news is there are 8 more empathy challenge activities that you can try, and you can check them out at empathylab.uk.
And teachers, we would love to see your videos, your photos, and your great work that you've been doing in the classroom online. So do please share them with us by tagging at Empathy Lab UK or hashtag Empathy Day Festival. We have loved sparking empathy with you. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for taking part in the Empathy Day Festival.
And whose story will you jump into next?
Whose story will you jump into next, Phil?
Oh, one of yours, Chuck. Always one of yours.
Mine and yours. All right. It's been so nice to spend time with you today. And thank you, everybody, for taking part and being with us.
See you soon.
Bye.